5 forecast first from the First Alert Storm Team. Brought to you by the Southwest Alabama Partnership for Training and Employment.
Crystal clear skies and cool temperatures at 6 p.m. on your Tuesday evening. A live look in at the USS Alabama at Battleship Park. It's a gorgeous night out there, but you'll certainly need the jackets if you have any evening or late night plans, as our temperatures will continue to slowly but surely fall through the 40s, and many spots will be in the 30s when we start off our Wednesday. We're tracking our chance of thunderstorms long term, and some of those could be severe. We'll talk about it. News 5 at 6 begins now.
WKRG News 5 starts right now with breaking news.
U.S. troops under attack in Iraq. Iran state TV saying that Tehran has launched tens of surface-to-surface missiles at an Air Force base housing U.S. troops outside of Baghdad. News 5 and CBS will continue to follow this breaking story throughout the night.
Now to a story you will see only on News 5. The Gulf Shores man accused of indecent exposure after being recorded while allegedly touching himself while driving for the ride-sharing company Lyft was in court this afternoon. 66-year-old John Robertson was supposed to hear the formal charges against him and enter a plea, but instead the judge granted a continuance. He'll be back in court next month. News 5's Debbie Williams is live tonight in Foley. And Debbie, you try to get his side of the story.
Leaving Foley Municipal Court, 66-year-old John Robertson was determined, never making eye contact and not answering any questions.
Did you do what she says you did?
Last November, Rachel Piazza hired Lyft to take her to a doctor's appointment. Robertson picked her up, and during the ride, she says Robertson was fully exposed, and she recorded what she says was his hand moving in an indecent way. This is an image from that video.
I ended up taking the video mostly because I felt like if I didn't take it, like, it's so outrageous, who would believe it?
Is there an explanation for the hand movement?
Robertson continued to his car, never saying a word. But Piazza was also at the courthouse this afternoon.
Just to hold him accountable for his actions against me and my son. I feel like he shouldn't have a right to do that and just get away with it.
Robertson remains free on bond. He is no longer a driver for the ride-sharing company.
You want to talk to me? I left my card at your house.
Now, Piazza says there is no doubt what was happening in the front seat of that car while she and her infant son were in the back seat. Robertson will be back in court next month, and Piazza says she'll be back there too.
Mobile police are investigating the city's first homicide of 2020. Officers say a man was shot to death last night on Hercules Street off of Martin Luther King Avenue. And that's where we find News 5's Dana Winter tonight. Dana, have police identified a suspect yet?
Not at this time, but this case is still under investigation. Today, police releasing the name of the man who was shot and killed as 55-year-old Willie Marshall. There, 55-year-old Willie Marshall, and some neighbors actually told us last night they saw Marshall running down this alleyway right here just before police arrived. Officers taking a close look at the alley and taping off the street as investigators looked for evidence. Police say they were called around 7:30 on Monday night, and when officers got here to Hercules Street, they found Marshall with a gunshot wound. Marshall was taken to the hospital where he did die from being shot. As of right now, this case is still under investigation, and if you have any information, contact Mobile Police. Reporting live in Mobile on Hercules Street tonight, I'm Dana Winter for WKRG News 5.
All right, thank you, Dana. One day after Mobile's first homicide, Mayor Sandy Stimpson addresses for the first time on camera the city not making his 2020 benchmark for being the safest city in America.
It's like a great football coach, like any of the top teams in the nation. You know, they set their goals of being the best in the nation. It's not the best in that conference, and so it may take us longer to get there. And you know, you may never really get there, but if you're not trying to be the very best, you're going to let some other things slide.
Now, last night on News 5, we asked Mobilians about that failed safest city goal, and you can hear those comments on our website, WKRG.com.
A woman is recovering today after being shot in the leg near North L Street in Pensacola. Pensacola police have arrested the suspect and have not released the name yet. News 5's Brian Clerkley spoke with the victim and has more details.
I spoke with the victim here on North L Street, and she says that she's lucky to be alive. She says that she was shot after she refused to have sex with the suspect.
Well, he wanted to take advantage of me, and I wouldn't let him do it, and that's when he shot me.
Kizzy Owens is walking with a cane today after being shot in the leg early this morning. Police have identified the man that shot her as 49-year-old Anthony Adkins. She says she was at Adkins' house last night just talking when he tried to take advantage of her. She says when she refused to have sex with him, he got violent. She says Adkins shot her in the bottom of the leg when she was in the room.
I was scared to death. Like, I thought, baby, when I was leaving, taking off, I feared that he was going to shoot me again while I was leaving. So I was really terrified of it.
Owen says after she was shot, she built up the strength to go back to her house and call police. Owen says her leg is going to take some time to recover, but she's lucky the injury wasn't more serious. She says next time she won't be so trustworthy.
I would like for them, not to trust any man, they'll lie to you, they try to take advantage of you, the one that you think your friends and not.
When we get more details on this shooting, we'll update everyone on air and on our website, WKRG.com. In Pensacola, I'm Brian Clerkley, WKRG News 5.
In Pascagoula, Mississippi, police say a homeowner shot and killed an armed burglar who broke into his home. It happened around 11:44 this morning on Nathan Hale Avenue. Neither the homeowner nor the suspect's name is being released at this time.
Now a News 5 update on the investigation into a deadly house party in Baldwin County last month. Investigators have seized 2 more guns, bringing the total now to 6. On December 15th, 21-year-old Dominique Marshall was shot and killed in Robertsdale. She was caught in the crossfire. Investigators say there were at least 2 shooters, and more than 24 rounds were found at the scene. More than 100 people were at the party at an Airbnb rental house on G.W. Lewis Lane. No arrests have been made. Another update now out of Mobile. Charges have been upgraded for a former animal control officer accused of animal cruelty. 23-year-old Christopher DRESSEL is now charged with a felony. He was arrested last month on a misdemeanor charge. DRESSEL is accused of torturing a dog by hitting it with a metal catch pole. The alleged incident happened in November. He was fired 2 weeks later.
New tonight at 6, a 7-time convicted felon has been arrested again in Okaloosa County. This is 39-year-old Rodney McNabb. He faces 5 felony charges. Deputies searched his home in Shalimar. They found heroin, cocaine, 2 firearms, one of which was stolen, and nearly $140,000 in cash. McNabb was just released from prison in October. He served 16.5 years in prison.
Now a traffic alert. Expect lane closures on Highway 181 I-10 interchange in Malbus from 9 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, and this will be going on for the next several months. Crews are working to build a diverging diamond traffic pattern to reduce backups there. Now, because this is novel for the state, we're taking a closer look at this unique traffic design. There is already a diverging diamond off of I-10 in Mississippi. News 5's Katerina Lukatich takes us to D'Iberville near Biloxi to give us a first-hand look at how this works.
Lane closures began in Malbus today at one of Baldwin County's busiest intersections. About an hour west, drivers have been using a diverging diamond for several years in D'Iberville, Mississippi. Mississippi's Department of Transportation decided to construct the new traffic pattern after a shopping complex built just off of the interstate started to bring a lot more people to the area. The diverging diamond opened in 2015. So what's it like to drive through it? If you're coming off the interstate, you yield either way you go. Let's take a left. It feels weird the first few times you drive through it because you're driving on the wrong side of the road. If you continue to go straight, you'll cross over at a stoplight and get back on the right side of the road. With just 2 lights and more yields, it reduces the amount of wait time drivers have. South Mississippi officials say the diamond has made traffic flow more smoothly through the heavily traveled area. That's the hope for the new traffic pattern on 181. In D'Iberville, Mississippi, Katerina Lukatich, WKRG News 5.
And you can find the full instructional video on the diverging diamond on our website, WKRG.com.
Well, travel weather today has been perfect, all dry.
Yeah, it was a very beautiful day, and we're hoping this weather will last a little bit longer, but we do have some rough stuff moving in. Let's check in with Ed Bloodsworth.
Yeah, tonight actually has been a beautiful day. Lots of sunshine. This was shot at from Orange Beach there at Alabama Point. Sharon Smith just sent me that this afternoon. Gorgeous day overall. We did have a weak cold front slide through early this morning. There it is. It didn't really give us too much of anything, just a few clouds and maybe a shower or two. But high pressure is now building in, and that will be the story for the next, I would say, about 24 to 36 hours. 60 right now at Dauphin Island, already down to 51 at Mobile, 48 at Pascagoula, 50 in Evergreen, 57 in Navarre, and 53 degrees now in Calvert. Breezes less than 5 miles per hour, so when we get light to nearly calm winds, that tends to set us up for a chilly night, and that's what we're expecting. By 7 p.m., 50 degrees will quickly drop into the 40s. We'll keep your skies crystal clear for the rest of tonight. Next couple of days, weather-wise, fairly quiet, but then Friday, but especially on Saturday, that's when we're going to focus in on a cold front, which will likely bring some thunderstorms to the area, and some of those will likely be strong or severe. We're going to talk more about the severe weather threats. We're going to break down the timing in greater detail in just a few minutes from now.
All right, thank you, Ed. And you can stay on top of the weather any time of day with our free WKRG weather app. It's available for both Apple and Android devices.
One Alabama state senator says he'd like to remove the state's sales tax on groceries. I'm Rashad Hudson in Montgomery. What this could mean for you coming up.
To learn how Southwest Alabama Partnership for Training and Employment can help you hire and train the best employees, visit swapd.org.
Fajitas are now on Beef's 2 for $20 menu.
And must be popular.
What gave you that idea?
Beef's 2 for $20. Now with steak, shrimp, and chicken fajitas. 2 entrees plus a starter or dessert. Still $20.
Come check out the all-new Colors collection from Cindy Crawford Home at Rooms to Go. Choose from a great selection of sofas and sectionals. Choose your color, choose your style. It's that easy. Add a splash of color to your home and change up your look for less with the all-new Colors collection from Cindy Crawford Home. New styles, new colors, your way. Come see the all-new Colors collection from Cindy Crawford Home, exclusively at Rooms to Go.
Have a car? A title? You could get up to $10,000 with TitleMax. Go to TitleMax.com and enter your car year, make, and model. See how much you could get. Check out TitleMax.com for the most cash you need. Check out TitleMax.com and shop us for rates. Check out TitleMax.com. All credit types accepted. Find out why so many people say,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
Malone is a company in motion, delivering award-winning roofing, metal walls, and maintenance. With the use of products like Duralast roofing systems, Malone is partnering with the world's largest manufacturer of custom fabricated single-ply roofing systems known as the world's best roof. Malone continues to prove there is nothing we can't accomplish, protecting people and what matters to you.
I'm Andy Citron. If you've been hurt by a big truck, I'll fight to get your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. I'm the one on the truck.
If you've been hurt in any type of accident, he's the one on the truck. Andy wins. Call 888-8888.
It's the new year. Next, Kelly, Jenna Fisher, and Angela Kinsey. Did you make any resolutions?
Learn a new language.
That's mine! You legitimately just scared me.
Tomorrow at 4 on WKRG 5.
Tummy trying to tell you something? Like it's Beef O'Brady's Tacos on Tuesday? Get 2 tacos with chips and salsa just $5.99. Plus kids meals are $1.99. All kids all Tuesday long at Beef's.
You're watching WKRG News 5, local coverage you can count on, with Roseanne Haven, Peter Albrecht, Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth, and Randy Patrick Sports. This is WKRG News 5 at 6.
Welcome back, everyone. And updating breaking news, Iran launching missiles at the Al-Assad air base in Iraq that houses U.S. troops.
Yeah, information is still coming in. There's no word on how badly the base has been hit or if there are any casualties. President Trump has been briefed on the attack and is meeting with his advisors now. Iran's Revolutionary Guard is warning the U.S. and its allies not to retaliate. All of this, of course, follows the killing of Iran's top general and a U.S. drone strike in Iraq last week.
One Alabama state senator says he wants to look at removing the state sales tax on groceries.
State Capitol reporter Rashad Hudson with what this could mean for you.
We've seen similar legislation in the past when it comes to removing the state's sales tax on groceries, but for many people the concern has always been, how do you replace that funding? Well, that still remains the concern. Right now, Alabamians pay a 4% tax on groceries plus other local taxes.
The grocery tax is a tax on a basic necessity of life. It's a tax on survival.
Chris Sanders with Alabama Rise says this is an issue they've been pushing for years.
This is a tax that drives folks in poverty deeper into poverty. It makes it tougher for folks who are struggling to make ends meet, to put food on the table and provide for their families.
Republican State Senator Claude Chambliss says Alabama is one of 3 states that tax groceries.
There's really no question about whether we should take it off. The question is, how do you pay for taking it off? So that's the real research and what I'm looking into now. And
Chambliss says he plans to have a bill ready to go by the start of the legislative session.
Those that are on the lower end of the wage earners, you know, it is a significant part of their income, their groceries, their food.
Sanders supports removing the sales tax, but would like to see a responsible replacement.
If you got rid of that without replacing the money, you could be looking at deep cuts to K-12, to higher education.
Senator Chambliss says he feels optimistic that this could be the year that the bill to remove the state's grocery tax makes it through the legislature. Reporting in Montgomery, Rashad Hudson, WKRG News 5.
Students at Gulf Shores High School go home with new high-tech laptops. Each student got a new Apple MacBook Air as part of the new school district's push for better in-school tech. News 5's Chad Petrie was there for the rollout.
Students unbox and set up some of the 900 laptops being rolled out Tuesday at Gulf Shores High School. Kids are eager to see what they can do.
I'm really excited for the MacBooks because I can use them in classes like art, for things like graphic design, which is something I wouldn't be able to do with a Chromebook.
The high-end Apple products replace Chromebooks the students had.
You know, there's nothing wrong with Chrome devices, but we think Apple takes it to a next level when it comes to video and creativity and documenting data, that type of thing, visualization. So we're really excited about the opportunity for our kids.
I'm excited about computers that just help to enhance what the kids are doing.
This is the first wave of technology improvements for Gulf Shores schools. They'll see how it goes here at the high school and then implement similar measures at the elementary and middle school grade levels.
Next school year, we'll decide what devices and how we're going to proceed in the other 2 schools.
The tech improvements cost a little more than $500,000 over 3 years and are funded by a combination of city tax dollars and a nonprofit grant. In Gulf Shores, Chad Petrie, WKRG News 5.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth with your First Alert Storm Team forecast.
Well, we hope you've had a fantastic Tuesday, and weather-wise, actually pretty nice one. Started off mild this morning in Mobile, started off at 51 with a high temperature of 63. We did have a weak cold front move through this morning, so tomorrow morning will likely be on the chilly side compared to what we saw this morning. Pensacola reaching 53 this morning. On our way up to 67 this afternoon, above average in both respects for your high and low temperature today. Live look in tonight from the Alpha Insurance camera network as viewed from WKRG News 5. That's the Shops at Bel Air that's looking off towards West Mobile. All is quiet tonight. Quiet drive along the Bayway and Causeway from Daphne Infirmary East, part of our Alpha Insurance camera network. And then finally in the skies over Pensacola, that's a live look from our Unity Fiber camera. 59 degrees for the current temperature with a light wind out of the north and northwest. Overall breezes will be light, but the general direction will stay out of the north and northwest. But again, with this breeze less than 5 miles per hour, and that will allow some pretty steady cooling through the overnight period. High pressure is going going to be the story for the next couple of days as much drier air aloft will start to move in. And just like today, that's going to mean little to no cloud cover. Bright blue skies expected for tomorrow. No chance you'll need that green and Phillips umbrella, but it will be chilly, so you'll need the jackets tomorrow morning as you head out and as the kids are heading out to the bus stop. 34 at Grove Hill, 35 Calvert. Jay, you'll get down to 37, 47 at Dauphin Island, 41 for Gulf Shores, and 39 to start the day tomorrow in Fairhope. Low 60s all around, perhaps a few middle 60s closer to the coast, but we'll put together another nice day. Looking long range, though, the pattern's going to get active thanks to this big upper level trough moving into the Pacific Northwest. There's the dip in the jet stream, and you'll notice over the next couple of days as that starts to move across the country and then eventually will swing through the southeast. That's what's going to create an area of low pressure. Now on Friday, the main severe weather threat area is going to be over Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, southern portions of Oklahoma. This entire storm system will begin to move off to the east, and then on Saturday, that's going to be the day that we're going to have to watch very closely here. A large swath of severe weather, and the atmosphere is going to be conducive to where we could potentially see some strong to severe thunderstorms. Of course, we'll continue to update that in the days ahead, but just note warmer temperatures in the next couple days along with that very active and unsettled Friday and Saturday.
Randy Patrick is here now. Randy, another bowl game in the books, the first Lending Tree Bowl, and actually turned out to be a better game than a more competitive game than a lot of people thought it would.
Yeah, the favorite team won, and it was a record win for them, as we'll talk about in just a few minutes. We had a local player appear in the game, Eric Guerra out of McGill-Tulane High School. We'll hear from him in just a few minutes. I've been around so long, I used to report on his father and uncles at Williamson High School when they were basketball stars. Also, crimson and white are special colors for Jalen Hurts. Will he wear number 1 or number 2? And what are the chances he will wear an Alabama helmet in the game? Stay tuned.
We will not fail this world. Not today, not ever.
Crisis on Infinite Earth, January 14th on the Gulf Coast CW.
What could Alabama do with $1 billion? Fund education, health care, public safety, improve the quality of life for all. The Porch Creek Indians have a solid plan for gaming to bring Alabama $1 billion. A game changer for our state. Visit winningforalabama.com.
Feel your devices come alive. Speeds from 100 meg up to 1 gig. Stunning streaming video. Unbeatable power. Wi-Fi on blast. 99.9% network reliability. 100% incredible. Switch to Extreme Internet 100 today for $34.99 a month for 1 year. Call 844-EXTREME2.
Get your Gulf Coast news and weather from the local team you trust. WKRG News 5 at 9. Every night at 9 on the Gulf Coast CW.
Yeah, my business is growing, and I think it's time for me to start giving my employees what they expect. Healthcare is very important, and they deserve the best benefits. I don't know, though. Is this the right time? They do so much for me. It's only right that I do this for them. Because taking care of business is taking care of my employees.
Now more than ever, Florida Blue offers personalized health solutions for your changing business needs. Because no one knows better what you need than someone who's local, like you. Visit your local agent or call for real-time assistance. Good for people, good for business.
I used to hate cigarettes. Then I went to smoking. I want to quit smoking to support my wife. That's a big part of what she want me to do for my kids. I don't want them to get secondhand smoke. It ain't gonna be easy, you know, but as long as I got support from my family, I quit. Family is important, man. Cause without family, man, you ain't got nothing.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
For water cleanup, call 1-800-GET-ROTO. We will fix it, clean it, dry it.
Now, it's time for sports. And here's Randy Patrick.
The Raging Cajuns won last night's Lending Tree Bowl, played in Mobile as the city was in the national spotlight. ESPN televised the game. It's the last bowl game of the season. Miami of Ohio took a 7-0 lead, but Louisiana had the lead at the half and went on to win 27-17. It's their first 11-win season in school history. A big win for their second-year head coach Billy Napier, who was on Nick Saban's staff from 2013 to 2016. And a successful homecoming for Mobile's Eric Guerra, who plays defensive back for Louisiana. Eric played high school football at McGill-Tulane Catholic High. He was second on the team last night in tackles with 7. 3 were solos. He also returned a punt for 12 yards. And, of course, his performance made his family extremely proud.
It was great. Just to come here, let my family, my friends come watch me play and get the victory. That was great. Awesome.
Right, yes, it was awesome. Now, the last college football game of the season is the big one in the Big Easy. Next Monday night, LSU battles Clemson for the national title. LSU, a 5-point favorite, but Clemson in familiar territory, playing in yet another national championship game. After a national champion is crowned, the Senior Bowl will be grabbing headlines later in the month. The roster almost complete. The coaching staffs are set. The Bengals and Lions staffs will be coming in to coach the nation's top All-Stars. The announcement that Jalen Hurts is coming to play is big news. And the big question, will he wear a Sooners or Crimson Tide helmet during the week, or maybe both?
That's going to be up to Jalen. I think it'd be pretty cool if he split it, maybe wore Oklahoma during the practice week and Alabama on game day. I don't know. That's going to be up to him.
Oh, what do you know? And another thing to keep an eye on, will he wear jersey number 2, like the one he wore at Alabama, or number 1, where he wore at Oklahoma this past season?
How about OU on one side and the 2 on the other side? They're pretty much the same.
That gets
right?
my vote.
All right. We'll see what happens. We'll be right back.
Celebrate 100 years at Metzger's now through Saturday for 50% off the entire store.
Don't you just love oysters? They fight erosion and filter water to help marine life thrive. Plus, they live in castles. Alabama Power teamed up with the Nature Conservancy to build concrete habitats called oyster castles to help these little guys protect our shorelines. They work with people across the state to preserve their natural resources and make Alabama a great place to live, even if you're an oyster.
Obamacare is a complete and total disaster.
Let Obamacare implode.
These wild attacks on healthcare hurt the patients I care for. I've been a nurse in New York for 30 years. I know the difference leadership can make because I saw what Mike Bloomberg did as mayor.
Mayor Bloomberg helped lower the number of uninsured by 40%, covering 700,000 more New Yorkers. Life expectancy increased. He helped expand health coverage to 200,000 more kids and upgraded pediatric care. Infant mortality rates dropped to record lows. And as mayor, Mike Bloomberg always championed reproductive health for women.
So when you hear Mike Bloomberg on healthcare,
this is America. We can certainly afford to make sure that everybody that needs to see a doctor can see a doctor. Everybody that needs medicines to stay healthy can get those medicines.
you should know he did it as mayor. He'll get it done as president.
I'm Mike Bloomberg, and I approve this message.
Now through January 9th, join Planet Fitness for just 20 cents down, $10 a month, no commitment. You could spend a lot to ride the bike of shame.
Give her the hiss of shame.
Or, for 20 cents down, $10 a month, find your own lane. Get tons of cardio, strength equipment, and free fitness training. Ring in 2020 for just 20 cents down, $10 a month, no commitment, and no hissing. Join in club or at planetfitness.com. Hurry, deal ends Thursday, January 9th.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available on the GMC Sierra. Ring in the new year with 0% financing for 72 months on 2020 Sierra 1500 models. Plus, current eligible GM owners get $750 purchase allowance.
When you have to be on the job, be C. When you have to be dad, be C. Because BC now does even more, relieving headaches and tough colds and sinus pain fast. When you have to be your best, be C.
Coming up on CBS Prime Time, it's NCIS at 7, FBI at 8, followed by the premiere of FBI Most Wanted at 9. And be sure to join us for News 5 at 10 o'clock.
And stick around for News 5 at 6:30. Cherish Lombard will be joining us after the break.
clearance and closeouts, plus 12 months same as cash at Chavis in Chickasaw.
The Gulf Coast RV Show Mobile is coming to the Mobile Convention Center January 9th through 11th. RVs for every budget will be on display. Take advantage of show-only pricing and incentives. Shop a large selection of outdoor accessories. Speak with campgrounds, attend seminars, and more. GulfCoastRVShow.com.
My gums are irritated. I don't have to worry about that. Do I?
Actually, you do. Harmful bacteria lurk just below the gum line, and if you're not taking care of your gums, you're not taking care of your mouth.
So now I use this. Crest Gum Detoxify.
Crest Gum Detoxify, voted Product of the Year. It works below the gum line and is clinically proven to neutralize harmful plaque bacteria and help reverse early gum damage. Gum Detoxify from Crest.
Gums are good, so is my checkup.
Crest, healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
What did we decide on the flyers again?
15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
I think we're going to swap over to over 75 years of savings and service.
What, we're just going to swap over?
Yep. Pump the brakes on this, swap it over to that.
Pump the brakes and swap over?
That's right.
What, instead of all this I've already...
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to do with these?
Keep it in your desk, save it for next time.
Geico, over 75 years of savings and service.
The Gulf Coast RV Show Mobile is coming to the Mobile Convention Center January 9th through 11th. RVs for every budget will be on display. Take advantage of show-only pricing and incentives. Shop a large selection of outdoor accessories. Speak with campgrounds, attend seminars, and more. GulfCoastRVShow.com.
Now, your News 5 forecast first from the First Alert Storm Team.
It's 6:30 and temperatures are beginning to cool down under a mostly clear sky. Should be a beautiful starry night ahead. Live look in from Gulf Quest Museum, temperature of 57 degrees. Make sure you have the jackets if you're heading out late tonight, and you'll need them tomorrow morning as well. In fact, many spots dipping into the 30s. But a big warming trend lies ahead, along with a chance of thunderstorms. We'll tell you all about that as News 5 at 6:30 begins now.
WKRG News 5 starts right now with breaking news.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cherish Lombard.
And I'm Roseanne Haven. We begin tonight with breaking news out of the Middle East, where Iran has fired missiles at an Iraqi air base, at least 2 bases where U.S. troops are based.
Now, according to Iran State TV, surface-to-surface missiles have been fired at 2 Iraqi air bases, including Al-Assad Air Base, where U.S. troops are housed. Reporters describe it as Tehran's revenge operation over the killing of Revolutionary Guard General Qasem Soleimani. The Pentagon has confirmed the attack, says more than a dozen missiles were fired. And right now, no damage to report.
Yes, we have not seen any reports on damage or casualties at this point. We will continue to monitor news out of the Middle East and update you here on air and on WKRG.com.
Saraland police are investigating after a man was shot and killed in his home late last night. It happened around 10:15 on North Abba Drive off Calioka Road in Saraland. As News 5's Nicolette Schleisman tells us, this is the first homicide of the new year in Saraland, and neighbors heard it all go down.
We've been asking for details all day on this first homicide of 2020, but as of right now, Saraland police are not releasing a lot of information. News of a shooting moved around the neighborhood surrounding Abba Drive.
Nothing has ever happened like this here on this street.
Saraland police say they got a call about gunshots coming from inside a home on Abba Drive Monday night. When they got there, they found a man had been killed.
Yeah, I reckon you would say it was shocking, but this just happens.
Police say he had been shot multiple times. One neighbor tells News 5 he heard about 4 or 5 gunshots.
There was a victim who was followed home. That's what, you know, we've been told, that they were followed home and then they were shot.
Several neighbors tell News 5 the victim had not lived on the street very long. Police haven't released the name of the victim or his age.
Everybody knows about everybody, so we don't bother nobody.
Police have not released if they have anyone in custody or if they have a suspect in mind. As soon as we learn new details, we'll of course update you right here on WKRG News 5 as well as WKRG.com. In Saraland, Nicolette Schleisman, WKRG News 5.
Mobile police have identified the man shot and killed last night. 55-year-old Willie Marshall was found around 7:30 on Hercules Street. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. No arrests have been made in the case. A 28-year-old man from Citronelle has been charged with 2 counts of murder for a wreck that happened last month. Donald Crocker is being held in Mobile Metro Jail tonight on 2 charges of murder and 1 charge of assault. State troopers say he was driving the Jeep Grand Cherokee that crashed on Highway 45 south of Citronelle on December 14th, killing Curtis Miller and James Toomey and injuring 2 others. Troopers say after the crash, Crocker managed to get away.
Escambia County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a bank robbery suspect. News 5's Cody Long shows us surveillance photos in hopes that you may recognize the man and lead police to him.
Investigators say the suspect robbed this Synovus bank here behind me. This is the first picture of the man at 10:18 this morning as he walked into the bank. About 45 seconds later, you see him walking through the lobby. About 2 minutes after that, this is him at the teller's desk. You can see he's a white man with a white goatee. He's wearing what looks like a camo hat, a white Auburn sweatshirt, blue jeans, boots, and he has a clipboard with him. Just a few seconds after this, he is seen leaving the bank. We don't know what he said to the teller, nor do we know if he gave them a note demanding money. If you have any information that can help investigators solve this bank robbery, you're asked to call the sheriff's office, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 850-433-STOP. In Pensacola, Cody Long, WKRG News 5.
Police have made 1 arrest in a fight at Cordova Mall. It happened during the holidays. Pensacola police arrested 19-year-old Trenton NEWKIRK and charged him with fighting in a public place and disorderly conduct. A warrant for the same charges has been issued for 18-year-old Keandre Mathis. If you know where Mathis is, please call Pensacola police.
The city of Mobile's waterfront is a little safer tonight thanks to a brand new patrol boat. The mayor, council members, and police were there as the 34-foot security boat was unveiled to the public today. The all-aluminum watercraft is equipped with the latest electronics and detection devices to help keep the port of Mobile safe. It can also be used as a search and rescue boat and has a top speed of 55 knots.
We'll be using it for a multitask. It has very sophisticated electronics on board and also some very sophisticated detection capabilities that will allow us to protect the port.
This boat is helpful because it saturates our local jurisdictional waters that the Coast Guard is unable to do. This boat is really important as far as patrolling the port, make sure there's nothing out of the ordinary taking place as far as the water side.
The boat was paid for with a $367,000 Homeland Security and FEMA grant and is specifically designed for the Mobile Police Department.
Well, the weather has been absolutely gorgeous on the Gulf Coast, but it sounds like changes are on the way.
Yeah, and Ed Bloodsworth is watching for those changes. Ed, when can we expect them?
It looks like by the end of this week, and certainly the first half of the weekend, we're going to have to pay very close attention to a very active weather situation developing. Could see some strong to severe thunderstorms. But as you mentioned, we've been enjoying a couple of pleasant days. That's a live look in from our camera high atop the Wind Creek Casino and Hotel in Atmore. Quiet night, couple of stars already showing up in the sky as the sun is now set. 45 at Leakesville, 52 degrees for Fairhope and Gulf Shores tonight. These temperatures should fall off pretty steadily now that skies have gone clear and winds are about to go calm. And that's what we're seeing over most of the southeast. 40s and 50s just about everywhere. 58 in New Orleans, 48 up in Little Rock. So high pressure, this is going to be our main driver of weather for the next couple of days. That's going to set up right on top of us and should provide us with another beautiful blue sky tomorrow. There will be a bit of a chill in the air when you wake up tomorrow morning. In fact, many locations will wake up in the 30s. 36 in Mobile tonight, 35 at Calvert, 36 in Crestview, low 40s in the Florida Panhandle for Pensacola, Navarre, and Destin, 41 in Gulf Shores. Your weather headlines tonight, we're talking about this chilly night, but temperatures likely warm up significantly over the next couple of days, and that all leads up to Friday, but especially on Saturday, where you'll likely be weather aware. We'll talk more about that severe weather threat coming up in just a few minutes from now.
Thank you, Ed.
Homeowners along a quiet dirt road in Baldwin County got a surprise this morning. Take a look at this. Well, this is actually a little bit different than what we were talking about. This is actually local agencies that help prevent child abuse getting a big financial boost today. The Alabama Department of Child Abuse and Neglect Prevention presented a check for more than $977,000 to 14 local agencies, including Big Brothers and Big Sisters of South Alabama, Alt Point Health Systems, and the Mobile County Health Department.
An update on the report of airstrikes at 2 Iraqi bases where U.S. troops are housed, along with what Congress is doing to limit President Donald Trump's power as commander-in-chief. Next.
Other than walking the 81 acres of trails, there are at least 5 fun things that you can do at 5 Rivers, family-friendly and mostly free. For more details, head to our website, WKRG.com. Caroline Carruthers, News 5.
And later in sports on News 5 at 6:30, we will hear from the executive director of the Senior Bowl as he talks about Jalen Hurts and the impact he will have on the All-Star game.
WKRG.com. More local coverage you can count on.
There's no place I'd rather be. No place I'd rather be.
There's no partner I'd rather have for Cindy Crawford Home than Rooms to Go. We work with our designers to create stylish pieces, gorgeous room packages, and great looks for every room in your home. We believe you don't have to spend a lot of money to have great style. You just have to know where to shop. Come see what's new from my collection, exclusively at a Rooms to Go showroom near you.
You've had one goal, to reunite with your family. Go to Paris.
The NCIS Winter Premiere.
Paris can wait.
New tonight at 8/7 Central on CBS.
Who's the target?
If you love to solve crimes, I want to get your side of the story. Feel what it's like to go. More blood over here. On a manhunt. Justice is all that matters. FBI Most Wanted premieres tonight, 10/9 Central, after a new FBI on CBS.
Have a car? A title? You could get up to $10,000 with TitleMax. Go to TitleMax.com and enter your car year, make, and model. See how much you could get. Check out TitleMax.com for the most cash you need. Check out TitleMax.com and shop us for rates. Check out TitleMax.com. All credit types accepted. Find out why so many people say,
I got my title back with TitleMax.
I got my title back with TitleMax.
Get your title back with TitleMax.
You're watching WKRG News 5. Local coverage you can count on with Roseanne Haven, Cherish Lombard, Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth, and Randy Patrick Sports. This is WKRG News 5 at 6:30.
Welcome back. An update now to our top story. This evening, missiles were fired at 2 Iraqi air bases, including Al-Assad Air Base, where U.S. troops are housed. It's an apparent retaliation for the death of Revolutionary Guard General Qasem Soleimani. There are no reports on extent of damage or injuries. Meanwhile, Congress is back in session as tensions between the U.S. and Iran continue to escalate. Democrats in the House and Senate are working to limit the president's military action against Iran, while Republicans are jumping to the president's defense. News 5's Washington, D.C. correspondent Anna Wernicke tells us more.
Congress is back in Washington, and the first item of business in the new year, war.
President Trump does not have authority for a war with Iran.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer criticized the president's decision to launch the airstrike that killed Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani.
The president's decision-making has been erratic. It's been impulsive, without regard for the long-term consequences of America's actions abroad.
Democrats argue they were kept in the dark. On Monday, Democrats introduced a war powers resolution that would limit President Trump's potential military actions against Iran.
The president operated well within his authorities under the Constitution to defend the United States.
But Republicans, like Texas Senator John Cornyn, say the president did nothing wrong.
The world is a safer place with General Soleimani no longer on the battlefield. Now it's up to Iran to decide what they want to do.
It's the right decision. We got it right.
President Trump threatened to target Iranian cultural sites if the country retaliates. But Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says any future decision will be carefully calculated.
Every target that's being reviewed, every effort that's being made will always be conducted inside the international laws of war.
Pompeo is expected to brief members of Congress on Wednesday on what prompted the airstrike. In Washington, I'm Anna Wernicke.
The Gulf Shores man accused of indecent exposure after being recorded while allegedly touching himself while driving for the ride-sharing company Lyft was scheduled to be in court this afternoon. 66-year-old John Robertson was supposed to hear the formal charges against him and enter a plea, but instead the judge granted a continuance. He'll be back in court next month. Last November, Rachel Piazza hired Lyft to take her to a doctor's appointment. She says Robertson picked her up, and during the ride, he exposed himself and performed a lewd act. Robertson remains free on bond. He is no longer a Lyft driver.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Ed Bloodsworth with your first alert storm team forecast.
Well, if you are heading out this evening, you should not have any problems weather-wise. It's crystal clear out there. Nice night out there, but temperatures will be cooling off relatively quickly as viewed from Gulf Quest Museum. Nice shot of our downtown Mobile skyline. It's now 56 degrees for the current temperature. The overall wind flow is out of the northwest, but again, the breezes are very, very light for us tonight. Live look in from Daphne Infirmary East, part of our Alpha Insurance camera network. Some folks traveling along the Bayway and Causeway tonight, no problems. Again, a very dry air mass in place and a cooler air mass compared to what we had at this time yesterday. We're seeing a large spread of 40s and 50s on the map tonight. 51 for Mobile and Calvert, 48 now Pascagoula. Navarre is at 53. It's 50 for you folks up the road, up 65 in Evergreen, and 54 tonight in Grove Hill. The air mass is, again, a little bit cooler than what we had at this time yesterday, and that was thanks to a cold front that moved through early this morning. In fact, temperatures generally over the southeast are running around 5 to 10 degrees cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. There's the front. It's off to the south, moving through central Florida and into the central Gulf. High pressure is building in its wake, and that should keep us nice and quiet. In the upper levels, it's very dry. This is what we're seeing in the water vapor imagery. That next little push of dry air will settle in overnight, so completely clear skies, light winds. We are set up for a bit of a chilly night. Dry air sticks around tomorrow, so no chance that you will need that Green and Phillips umbrella. A starry sky out there tonight, 36 degrees when we wake up tomorrow morning. At the coast, low 40s, inland mid-30s. Lots of sunshine through tomorrow. 59 degrees at noon will get you to a high temperature right around 62 degrees by 3 p.m. with a few fair weather clouds. So that high pressure area, that's the story for the next couple of days. For today and tomorrow, it should actually, or say rather for Wednesday and Thursday, it should keep us nice and quiet as that high zips off. But starting Thursday, we're going to start to notice a couple of changes. One in the form of more cloud cover. We'll start to get more of a southerly wind flow, warmer temperatures, and a slow uptick in the humidity as well. Now, Friday is going to be our first day to see some active weather. Showers and a few thunderstorms will move through Friday as that warm front lifts north across the region. But this is what we're watching on Saturday. As this next cold front arrives, that's going to be the system that we're going to have to watch very closely, as the atmosphere will likely be in a state where we could see severe thunderstorms. The severe weather threat will be off to our west on Friday. But it's Saturday, and this is looking like at least the ingredients are coming together. Moisture, some upper level wind shear where we could see some damaging winds, maybe some tornadoes. So the bottom line, warm, moist air Friday and Saturday. Saturday is when the severe weather threat looks to move in. The exact timing is still a little bit up in the air, which we will continue to fine tune going forward. In the short term, chilly tomorrow morning, high temperature 62 tomorrow afternoon, 70s for the rest of the week, leading up to that Friday. Now, Friday, there will be some thunderstorms in the area, but the severe weather chance is very low on Friday. It's Saturday when we'll be watching for that severe weather chance to ramp up. And even into next week, guys, the pattern's going to be active. More storms possible next Monday as well.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So make sure you keep it here on News 5.
We're going to be busy.
Thanks, Todd. Randy Patrick is gearing us up for the Senior Bowl as an Alabama fan favorite gets ready to come to town. Your sports report is next on News 5 at 6:30.
It's my 2020 Vision Week. Plus, Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey are here. Next, Kelly.
Tomorrow at 4 on WKRG 5.
There are still a few more surprises to come in the final 2 chapters of Crisis on Infinite Earths. Tune into the Gulf Coast CW for parts 4 and 5 on Tuesday, January 14th, with Arrow at 7 and DC's Legends of Tomorrow at 8. You'll even have a chance to win passes to Pentacon 2020. During the crossover, we'll share a unique code word. When you find out what it is, head to GulfCoastCW.com and enter the word for a chance to be registered to win.
The new extra cheesy Alfredo pizza is extra cheese on a 3-cheese blend, on Alfredo sauce, on garlic Parmesan crust, on a collision course with your mouth. The extra cheesy Alfredo pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Great riches will find you when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance. So you only pay for what you need.
Wow, thanks, Voltar. How can I ever repay you?
Maybe you could free Zoltar? Thanks, lady. Taxi! Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This Caribbean jerk chicken makes me think maybe we should visit the islands. Islands, 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 islands.
I think I like it here.
Try Zaxby's Caribbean Jerk boneless wings with the tropical blend of mango, habanero, and exotic island spices. The Caribbean Jerk boneless wings and new filet sandwich meal. 2 more reasons you're going to get a kick out of Zaxby's.
What makes Longhorn steak so legendary? Some say it's our flavor-packed signature seasonings. Some say it's how we pair them with our juicy, tender steaks. And some just say, mmm. Hurry in tonight for Longhorn's legendary flavors. Our new limited-time blackened salmon with our smoky 18-ounce outlaw ribeye and our rich and savory Flo's filet. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Don't you just love oysters? They fight erosion and filter water to help marine life thrive. Plus, they live in castles. Alabama Power teamed up with the Nature Conservancy to build concrete habitats called oyster castles to help these little guys protect our shorelines. They work with people across the state to preserve their natural resources and make Alabama a great place to live, even if you're an oyster.
Get your first look at the news and weather coverage you depend on.
We do have breaking news in Pensacola tonight.
From the local team you trust.
But right now, it looks like...
Watch WKRG News 5 at 9. Every night at 9 on the Gulf Coast CW.
Watch Gulf Coast CW over the air on channel 55.1 and these other providers.
Now, it's time for sports. And here's Randy Patrick.
Hello again, everyone. Over the years, many very popular players have come to Mobile to play in the Senior Bowl. Guys like Joe Namath, Bo Jackson, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Jay Barker, Baker Mayfield, and Tim Tebow, to name a few. Jalen Hurts will play in this month's game, and the former Alabama quarterback who finished his career at Oklahoma will get rock star status and hopefully will help sell out the game like Tim Tebow did.
I think for the locals, you know, that stadium that day, I was at the game that Tebow sold it out. It was an orange and blue stadium. You looked like we were in the state of Florida. I think it'd be more crimson and white this year with Jalen. But they're both similar kind of legendary figures in the state. You know, Jalen did so many great things up there. 26-2 as a starter. You know, coming off the bench and replace the 2 and winning an SEC championship game, winning a national championship game. So you hear a lot of people in the community talk about when they were kids and they saw Joe Namath playing the game. Not to say that, not to compare Jalen with Joe Namath, but he is going to take on that kind of, you know, stature down the road as a leader for Alabama. And he's going to be one of those guys, I think, 20 years from now, you know, kids today are going to say they remember seeing Jalen Hurts playing the game.
All right, it's going to be a fun week. Mobile's other bowl game was won by Louisiana. The Ragin' Cajuns from Lafayette defeating the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio 27-17 last night. Louisiana was a 14-point favorite. Miami scored the game's first touchdown, but the Cajuns came back to score 27 points, and the defense held the Hawks. McGill-Tulane alum Eric Guerra, who had 7 tackles in the game, said it's awesome to be a part of a historic win. It was the school's first 11-win season.
We didn't get the championship win, and we came and get a bowl win. It's big for the university. This 11 win. That's a big thing we never did in school history. It was just big for us.
All right, congratulations. Last night, Chad Lott scored a game-high 20 points, and South Alabama's defense held UT Arlington's basketball team to under 34% shooting, and a 66-54 win in Arlington, Texas. Senior Josh Ajayi recording a double-double with 14 points and a season-high tying 13 rebounds. The Jags improving to 9-7 overall, 2-3 in the Sun Belt. They'll be home Thursday night at the Mitchell Center hosting Arkansas State. Auburn ranked number 5 in this week's AP poll. It's the highest ranking for the program in 20 years. Auburn's 13-0 with their win Saturday at State. They'll take on Vanderbilt tomorrow night in Auburn. Bruce Pearl knows tougher games are ahead for his 13-0 team, but he is proud of his team's top 5 ranking.
Interestingly, we have not played a quadrant 1 opponent yet. We've got some, I don't even know if you won't know until it all shakes out how many of those are going to wind up being quadrant 1 wins. But we haven't played a great team yet. We played a lot of really good teams.
And one of those teams, South Alabama. Alabama home tomorrow night, hosting Mississippi State. Bama 7-6 overall, 0-1 in the SEC after losing to Florida Saturday. We'll be back with more of News 5 at 6:30 in just a couple of minutes.
Ow. Ew. Ow. Ew. Want relief from tough pain without the tough taste? Try Goody's Cool Orange. Goody's fast, Goody's delicious, because pain relief shouldn't be a pain to take. Goody's flavors, taking the pain out of pain relief.
No matter the Gulf Coast weather, the First Alert Storm Team is working for you. Severe weather, flooding, lightning. We're ready for whatever comes our way, working around the clock. The First Alert Storm Team, the largest team of meteorologists on the Gulf Coast.
Today at Whataburger, we're cooking the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich.
You asked for it, and it's back.
We got 3 chicken strips, 2 slices of Monterey Jack cheese, Whataburger's own buffalo sauce, a little bit of buttermilk ranch. The combination is just right.
It's crunchy, and then it's spicy, and then it's cool. Your mouth is exploding with flavor.
It just all works together, and then you add the cheese in there.
It kind of wakes me up, honestly. My goodness. I can see myself getting this every time I come here.
The Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. It's back, and it's only for a limited time.
Order all your favorites from your phone.
When you think Geico, think local. Many of your friends and neighbors have already made the switch to Geico since opening in Mobile. Call or come by today to get a fast free quote on your home, auto, or motorcycle insurance. Find out how much you can save on all your insurance needs. Get all the discounts you deserve from your local Geico office. We're located at 3766 Airport Boulevard in Mobile, or give us a call at 251-445-0053.
It's the extreme deal of the day. Call now and get fast internet for less than $20 a month. If you ever thought about switching internet providers, the time to do it is now. For a limited time, you can get Access Internet 60 with speeds up to 60 meg and in-home Wi-Fi for only $19.99 a month for 1 year. Plus, there's no contract to sign. This is your chance to get real high-speed internet without the high price. Call 855-412-7466 today.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available in the GMC Sierra. Ring in the new year with 0% financing for 72 months on 2020 Sierra 1500 models. Plus, current eligible GM owners get $750 purchase allowance.
Don't be misled by cheap online hearing devices. These are not hearing aids, but simply amplifiers. When you have trouble seeing, you have your eyes checked. If you're having trouble hearing, have your hearing checked. You cannot get a hearing aid without a hearing test and proper fitting. Are you having trouble hearing? See the professionals at Beltone Audiology. Get a free hearing screening, the right hearing aid for you, and service for life. Beltone Audiology, a WKRG partner in health.
Next, Mel, this brotherhood of believers
I thought I was looking at Jesus in the flesh.
became his personal hell of murderers. So how did you get out of this building?
Tomorrow at 4 on the Gulf Coast CW.
When you have to be on the job, be C. When you have to be dad, be C. Because BC now does even more, relieving headaches and tough colds and sinus pain fast. When you have to be your best, be C.
Coming up next on WKRG and CBS, it's NCIS followed by FBI at 8. At 9, there's FBI Most Wanted. Or you can get your news early with News 5 at 9 on the Gulf Coast CW. Then it's News 5 at 10 right here on Channel 5.
Thank you so much for watching.